Okay, we're on to page 2 of your notes. So this will be the back side of your notes. And we are doing synthetic division. And I am trying a new document camera, so hopefully it'll focus here soon. It looks like it's thinking about it. So we have x squared plus 3 being divided by x plus 3. So we're going to write 1x squared, 0x, we have a missing term, and 3 as our coefficients. And then off to the side, we're going to solve x plus 3 equals 0, subtract the 3 over, so x is a negative 3. We drop our first term down, we multiply, 1 times a negative 3 is a negative 3. And then we add down, 0 plus a negative 3 is a negative 3. We multiply again, a negative 3 times a negative 3 is a positive 9. We add down and we get a remainder of 12. And so because our polynomial is always one less degree, because our polynomial is always one less degree, we have x to the first power, so 1x to the first power, it was originally x squared, minus 3 plus a remainder of 12 over x plus 3 because we're dividing by x plus 3. And you don't need to write a 1 as the first power, you can if you want to, but this is your quotient. Alright, looking at number 4, again I'm looking to see if I have any missing terms, and I'm missing the x squared term. It goes fourth power, third power, we need second power, first power, and constant. So our coefficients are 1x to the fourth, negative 6x cubed, 0x squared, negative 40, x, and the 33. And again, I'm going to solve x minus 7 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 7. We bring our first term down, and so the 1 comes down. 1 times 7 is 7. We add to get 1 again. 1 times 7 is 7. Add down, 0 plus 7 is 7. We multiply, 7 times 7 is 49. We add down, negative 40 and 49 gives you 9. 9 times 7 is 63. And you add down, and we get 96 as our remainder. And remember, anytime you have a remainder, that means that the divisor is not a factor. So x minus 7 is not going to be a factor, and x plus 3 was not a factor on our last example. And so, since we have one less degree, we have x cubed. And you can put 1x cubed if you like, plus x squared, and again you could write 1x squared, plus 7x plus 9, plus our remainder is 96 over our divisor of x minus 7. So that is synthetic division. The last part of your homework is to factor completely. So we're going to divide first. We have a third power, we have a cubic, and we're dividing by x plus 5. And so I'm going to start with synthetic division. I have 1x to the third, 7x squared, these are my coefficients, negative 38x, and negative 240. And I'm not missing any terms this time. Off to the side, we have x plus 5 is equal to 0, so x is a negative 5. Negative 5 goes in that box off to the left. Our first term comes straight down, so the 1 comes down. And we're going to multiply now. So 1 times a negative 5 is a negative 5. We add down to get 2. 2 times a negative 5 is a negative 10. We add down to get negative 48. Negative 48 times 5, well, that gives you 240. Add down and you get 0. And if you need to, you can use a calculator. And so now we have one less degree. So instead of a third power, our quotient is a second power. It's a quadratic. So we have 1x squared plus 2x minus 48. And there is no remainder, which means x plus 5 is a factor. And they told us it was a given factor, so you should not have a remainder. And so far in factored form, we have our quadratic and we have the given factor of x plus 5. Okay, so if we multiply these out, we get back to where we started. That would be the standard form. Now we need to factor one more time because we're factoring completely. And so we're back to our box model of factoring the quadratic. We put our first term in the first box, our last term in the last box. We're looking for factors that multiply to be negative 48x squared, that add to be a 2x. And so I want to think to myself, what multiplies to be negative 48? that asks to be 2. And if you need to make a list off to the side, you can. 1 and 48, 2 and 24, 3 and 16, 4 and, let's see here, 4 and 12, 6 and 8. So there's our list. And so what two factors would multiply to be negative 48 and would add to be 2? We'd want a positive 8 and a negative 6x. And so this factors as x minus 6 and x plus 8. And so when it is completely factored, we have x minus 6 and x plus 8, and the given factor of x plus 5. And that was what they gave us at the beginning of the problem. And now it is completely factored.